Today marks 1 week since the shooting of 21 students and teachers at Robb Elementary, and now the community is preparing for funerals every day over the next 2 weeks.
The city's mayor calling for the school to be torn down and rebuilt so families don't have to send their kids to the site of that massacre.
WFAA's Jobin Paniker is in Uvalde with more on how the victims are being remembered this week.
Good morning. The first of many funerals is scheduled for Tuesday afternoon here in the town of Uvalde. Father Eduardo Morales will lead 12 funeral services at Sacred Heart Catholic Church over the next 2 weeks. He says it will be a difficult time for the close-knit families of this town. He reminds us these families know each other, and every funeral only compounds the hurt. The funerals for classmates Maite Rodriguez and Amerie Jo Garza will be held Tuesday afternoon. Both girls were 10 years old. Maite loved animals. She wanted to be a marine biologist. Amerie hated wearing dresses and wanted to be an art teacher. Now, the families had asked for privacy on Monday for visitation and are again asking for some distance during the funeral services. Father Morales tells us some funerals will be very private and just for family, and some will be very well attended. That decision is up to the families.
Although I have celebrated many funeral masses, this certainly is the situation is different. It's as if one huge funeral that is not ending.
Well, the father says the only other time there were this many consecutive funerals was during the hardest times in COVID. Reporting here in Uvalde, I'm Joe Buchanan.
Well, Uvalde's mayor, Don McLaughlin, is asking the U.S. Justice Department to review the police response to this shooting, including that 78-minute wait before law enforcement even confronted the shooter.
But I would like to have an outside set of eyes to look over the whole thing and review it, because if there's holes in it or we made a mistake, I want to be as transparent as we can.
Well, the school district's police chief, Pete Arredondo, has been heavily criticized for how he handled the response. He was supposed to be sworn in today as a new member of the city council, but the mayor canceled that ceremony. He says the tragedy does not prevent him from taking the oath of office, though.
Lawmakers, as you might imagine, under intense pressure to take action in the aftermath of that school shooting. A bipartisan group of senators say they hope to find common ground on gun policy. They plan to continue their talks this week as Cleo Green has a look on what to expect. Cleo?
Yeah, Mark, yesterday, Texas Senator John Cornyn said we need to do a lot more. He's now been asked to lead bipartisan talks on gun reform. So today, he and other senators will meet on a Zoom call because they're not in session this week, and they're basically going to talk and negotiate and talk about basic framework for gun safety legislation. Here's a look at what's on the table and what they're going to possibly discuss today. They're going to talk about some red flag warnings, mental health resources, which are much needed, more funding for school security, and expanding background checks. Here's another proposal that's also on the table, and that's raising the legal age to buy any gun or firearm to 21, something then Republican Governor Rick Scott had signed into law after the school shooting in Parkland, Florida. Political experts say partisan divisions have resulted in a stalemate over gun policy in Washington for years now. Here's the deal. Most legislation requires 60 votes to overcome a filibuster in the Senate. As a result, Senate Democrats, who only control 50 seats, would need at least 10 Republicans to pass any kind of gun measure. Now, Cornyn said that we need to come to some sort of agreement by this week, so we're hoping we may learn some new details on that Zoom call. In the meantime, President Biden really standing by this tweet and this message of his saying Congress needs to pass universal background checks, ban assault weapons, and high-capacity magazines, saying it's time to turn this pain into action. Mark, I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, thank you, Cleo. Speaking of action, our neighbors to the north in Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says he wants to institute a national freeze on all handguns there.
We're introducing legislation to implement a national freeze on handgun ownership. What this means is that it will no longer be possible to buy, sell, transfer, or import handguns anywhere in Canada. In other words, we're capping the market for handguns.
That legislation would also ensure long gun magazines could never hold more than 5 rounds. Trudeau says gun smugglers and traffickers would face the maximum criminal penalties. And if you're looking for ways to help, you can donate to the Robb Elementary Memorial Fund at any First State Bank branch. You can also text the word HELP to 214-977-6028. We'll send a link right back to your phone, and we've got a list on the front page of our website at WFAA.com as well.